long today. Amen. We had a long service last Sunday, Easter Sunday. Amen. So I'm not going to hold you too long. Amen. But there is a word from the Lord. Amen. Amen. I like these intimate settings because I don't have to regurgitate, and I don't have to take baby steps. I got the saints. Amen. Amen. You know, you got to play to your crowd. You got to play to your crowd. Amen. That's one thing they taught us in seminary. You know, be aware and play to your crowd. Amen. And you got to do that. Amen. So we praise God. But I thank God for our insight, so that we can push on. Amen. So I'm still talking about Satan. Still talking about Satan and sinners. Talking about Satan and sinners and warfare. There's a new movie out, and it's on satanic worship. The rise of the occult. The rise of the occult. Amen. In these last days, amen, we're going to be seeing more and more of that activity. Amen. So I need Christians to put on your discernment, your spiritual ears. Amen. There's a woman, amen, she's being prosecuted because she killed her 2 babies. She killed her 2 children. I see Laurel today. Wave your hand, Laurel. God bless you, Laurel. God bless you. She used to be with us a long time ago. Amen. She's a cancer survivor. She's a cancer survivor. You still praising God for that? Amen. Yes, Lord. Amen. She's a cancer survivor. God bless you. Amen. Good to see you. God bless you. Amen. There's a woman, amen, and I was just reading it in the newspaper yesterday. A woman, she killed her 2 children. And they took her to court. Matter of fact, they had a court hearing on yesterday. Amen. But she refused to go to the hearing. Anybody hear this in the news? Wave your hand if you heard it in the news. Amen. I don't make this stuff up. She wouldn't come out of her cell. And it's even funny, the people that were describing the event, they said it was like she was possessed with a demon. And that sounds about right, because you got to be demonically possessed to kill your own children. And then the judge, Melissa, the judge said, he said, that's fine. He said, you ain't got to come out. But then he told her, he said, look ahead. He said, now this trial going on. He said, now you can stay in your cell, or you can be here. Amen. But we going on with this trial. Y'all check that out. I Googled it. I'm not making this up. Vet me on that. Yeah. This is playing out right in front of us right now. Amen. There's also a spirit of perversion that's out there in the world. Amen. When you hear these perverted acts taking place with our children. Those of you that are with me on Wednesday night, I've shown you all throughout the book of Revelations, amen, how we're going to see this rise in occult activity, That's why I thank God for Jesus. Anybody glad you're saved in these last days? Anybody glad you're saved in these last days? Don't let that pull you down. See, that's why it's good to be saved. See, as I paint these pictures, and see, that's my job to guide you through and help you to identify what's going on. See, as you read your parable today, as we read that parable today, if you notice, that's exactly what Jesus did. Amen. Did y'all hear the parable when we were reading? And literally, it's a breakdown. He literally breaks down the explanation of the parable that he just taught. Look at what he says. He says, the one who sowed the seed, that's Jesus. The field is the what? The world. The field is the world. Everybody say world. Amen. I told you last week. Amen. The church sits within the world. Matthew chapter 13. The church sits within the world. Amen. And we forget that sometimes. And see, that's why it's not good to be too churchy. Because we're a piece to the puzzle. We're not the whole puzzle. We're a piece. We're a piece. Amen. It's a whole lot more people at the football game. It's a whole lot more people at the cap game, even though they lost. The Caps. There's going to be a whole lot more folk at the, amen. You have now, more people watch the NFL draft. There were more people watching the NFL draft than the current NBA playoffs that they're playing right now. There were more people watching the draft. Yeah. So again, the church, we sit within the world. We're not the end all, the be all. Amen. So this is what Jesus said. Jesus says the field is the world. The good seed, talked to you about that last week, the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. Who's saving you? All right, you are, the Bible calls you the good seed. The Bible calls you the good seed. Everybody say wheat. Come on, talk back to me. Everybody say wheat. In the Bible, you are wheat. And then the weeds or the tare. Everybody say tare. If you're writing down notes, write down tare. I gave you a name last week. I gave you a name. What was the name I gave you? Darnell. D-A-R-N-E-L. Amen. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make that up. Amen. That's from the Bible. Talk to Jesus about that if you don't like that. Amen. That's called the weeds. That's called the weeds. The weeds are, and look what it says. That's in Matthew chapter 13, verse 38. The weeds are the sons of who? Verse 38, y'all. 38. The weeds are the sons of who? Amen. So Satan has children. Ain't nobody say amen to that. I said Satan has children. Amen. Amen. The enemy who sows them is, just for clarity, well, I'm confused, Pastor. I don't know. Verse 39. The enemy who sows them is the who? Come on, look at it, y'all. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. The enemy who sows them is the who? Yeah. Now watch this. The harvest is the end of the what? Harvest is the what? Told you before, and if anybody been with me any period of time here at City Zion, I told you, amen, amen. And in the English, we translate that wrong. Yolanda, in the old English Bible, we say, world, and Jesus says, go make disciples. I'll be with you to the end of the world, end of the world. So I hear preachers get up and say, oh yeah, the world's gonna come to an end. The world's gonna come to an end. The world's never gonna come to an end. Go to Ephesians chapter 3. Ephesians 3 says the world is never going to end. The age is going to end. This period is going to end. This is called the church age, the church period. Amen. So the text here says, this period of time that we're living in, when this period of time that we live in, the end of the age, harvesters are going to come. Harvesters are going to come. Who are the harvesters? The end of verse 39, y'all. Who are the harvesters? This is what my Bible says. Some of us, we're going to be caught up to meet him in the clouds. Anybody heard that before? Anybody heard that before? Let me ask you, anybody glad about that? Anybody looking forward to that? Anybody believe that? Amen. Harvesters are coming. Harvesters are coming. So that's why, amen, I have to now dismiss, I have to disengage, I have to shut, amen, I have to dismiss my Holy Ghost police. I got to shut down, amen. I got to disengage my holy rollers. Amen. Because we don't throw away sinners. I say we don't throw away sinners. Jesus said. Last time I checked, this is his church. I say last time I checked, this is his church. He said, don't do any, the holy rollers came up. The holy rollers said, oh, we'll go straighten it out. We'll do some separating. We'll separate the wheat and the tare. Jesus said, don't do that. He said, don't do that. He said, because you will mess around. You will mess around and confuse. You will mess around and grab the wrong people. You will mess around and discourage somebody who's growing. You will discourage a babe in Christ who's trying his best, trying her best. Amen. You'll discourage somebody by premature, I wish, those of you that are writing notes, I wish you write that down, premature separation. Jesus admonishes, shuts down in the church, premature separation. That's the major teaching that comes from this parable of the wheat and the tare. Jesus shuts down premature separation. Amen. Everybody say this with me, process. Come on, say process. Amen. Dr. Kim, how many of you know it takes time to grow. Amen. It takes time to transform. Amen. I was chief among sinners for a long time. It's going to take me a little while to become, amen, a chief worshiper. Amen. In the book of Psalms, praise and worship, the Bible talks about this psalm is written by the chief worshiper. It takes a while to transition from chief hellraiser to chief worshiper. Amen. It takes a while to move from amen. It takes a while to move from the pole to praise. Amen. It take a while to move from the amen. It take a little while. Amen. Look at your neighbor. Say, give me a little time. I wish you'd give me a little time. I'm trying to work it out. Will you give me a little time? Give me a little time. Amen. Clarity here. Clarity. Amen. Now I told you last week, and let me complete this because I just hit it last week, and I want to complete this. Amen. I want to talk about the church and sinners, or Satan in the church, or Satan's work. Again, I told you last week, in the church you have babes in Christ. Now, a babe in Christ can be easily confused, amen, with a sinner, because they don't have the fruit. But then you also have what the Bible calls apostates. Everybody say apostate. From the word apostasy, which means to fall away. An apostate is a sinner that looks saved. Amen. And the only way we'll be able to tell, amen, is via evidence. Notice I didn't say backslider. Well, I didn't say backslider because I'm talking to you about people that are in the church. Let me ask this question, class. Is a backslider in church? Talk to me. It's just us. Amen. Is a backslider in church? No. That's why it's called the backslider. He has slowly, over a period of time, amen, incremental steps. Amen. He's no longer in the fellowship. That's why it's called the backslider. But the good news is, you can backslide out of the church, but you can't backslide from God. You can get away from us. Amen. But when you leave us, guess whose hands you fall right into? Because as the text shows, Jesus said, my field is not the four walls of the church. My field is the what? Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's. And the what? Amen. If you make your bed in hell, guess who's there? God is there. Amen. So there's no getting away from him. So this is what the church, what do we do with the backslider? We fuss, we cuss, amen. We chase them down, we hound them, we harass them. No. We pray for the backslider. Parents, help me with this, because some of them don't know. Amen. Do you raise grown people? Do you raise grown people? Do you make grown people do what they don't want to do? Come on, help me here. Do you make grown people do what they want to do? Amen. No, sir. Hasn't worked yet. But how many of you know when God get a hold of it? Talk back to me. How many know when God get a hold of it? Read Luke chapter 15 if you don't know. Luke chapter 15, the text says, and when he came to himself, he went running back to the Father. Say, Lord, he said, Father, I have sinned. He said, I'm sorry. How many of you know when God put it on you, he can change your mind? Come on, help me here. That's a good spot for a praise. How many of you know God, a hard head make for a what? You heard that before. Amen. So mama, husband, wife, amen. You did. Amen. Don't worry about the backslider. Pray for the backslider. The book of Hosea says God loves the backslider. Amen. But you got to let God work with the backslider. Amen? All right. So let me come back to those within the church. My assignment is to deal with those in the church. Three things with the sinner. For those of you that are writing notes, I wish you write this down. We need to do three things. Amen. And Dr. Kim, this was real good for me because this is a refresher for us. And my leaders, my leaders here, 30 of you, I'm talking to you specifically because this is a refresher for us. Amen. There are three things we got to do with sinners. Three things. Amen. We're going to identify them. We're going to love them. And we're going to help them. I wish you write those three things down. For those of you that write notes. Amen. We're going to identify them. Everybody say identify. Amen. We're going to love them. Come on, say love them. Come on, say it. Come on, say love them. Amen. And then say help them. Amen. We're going to do three things. Amen. We're going to do three things. I see three things here. Amen. The church is not supposed to expel sinners. We're supposed to identify them. First things first. Everybody say identify. Why identify them, Pastor? Why? Well, because elevation before transformation leads to contamination. Yeah. Elevation before transformation, amen, leads to contamination. Yeah. I wish you write it down. I had to pray on that. It took me a while to get down. It took me a while to get that one. Let me say it one more time. Elevation before transformation leads to contamination. We got to identify. Look at his neighbor, just look at him. Look at him with that Holy Ghost eye. Look at him with that holy, you know how y'all look. Yeah, that look, Deborah, yeah. That one. Yeah, and when she just... King Jesus warns us that if you mess up and put the wrong person in leadership, that will lead sheep astray. You don't have to like this. You don't have to like this. It's in the Bible, and I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. You don't have to like this text. Amen. King Jesus warns that if we mess up and put a person in leadership before their time, or if it's the wrong person, or if they have not been transformed, this will lead other sheep astray. Jesus is the chief shepherd. And being the chief shepherd of his church, he recognized this and gave the church this sober warning. Some of y'all know it, but let me just refresh you. You heard it before. Matthew chapter 7. Matthew chapter 7. Amen. This is a series of parables, and they're all connected. This is a series of parables and a series of teaching. And as we get ready for the return of Jesus Christ, and this is what Jesus said, I'm coming back for a church without spot or wrinkle. A church that's ready. I want a church that's ready. And I'm trying to I want to be a part of a church that's ready. Amen. So no, we don't throw out sinners, but at the same time, we need to identify them. Why? I can't put you in front. I can't put you in front. Amen. If there has been no transformation, there's been no transformation. Where y'all at? What did I say? 7:15. That's what I want. 7:15. 7:15. Watch out. We in the same place. We in the same place. Watch out for who? Watch out for prophets. Watch out for prophets. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in what? They come to you in what? But inwardly they are what? They are what kind of wolves? What kind of wolves? By their fruit you will what? Amen. Put that together with Matthew chapter 12. I told you last week. Amen. And people misquote that all the time. Well, in the wheat and the tare, Jesus never said you could not identify them. He just said they look alike. Deacon's father. He said they look alike. He never said you couldn't recognize them. We're supposed to love sinners. They might get on our nerves, but we're supposed to love sinners. Amen. 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 That reveals an amazing truth. That reveals an amazing truth. Did you know that you can love somebody and not like them? Did you know that? That you can love somebody and not like them? I saw a couple of folks scratching their head. Amen. That's because love and like are two different words. Like has to do with affinity, a good feeling. Pleasure, agreeable. That's not the definition of love. This word love I'm talking about, apageo, not agape, apageo. It is unconditional love. Amen. You can love somebody when they get on your nerves. Y'all scared to say amen. I wish I had the right people. In here. I wish I had some folk that, amen. You can love somebody that's getting on your nerve. Oh, you got to have the love of Jesus. Thank you, Lord. That was good. To love like Jesus, you got to have the love of Jesus. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. The fruit of the Spirit is love. If you're not filled with the Spirit, you can't love like Jesus did. Amen. If you're not filled with the Spirit, you can't love like Jesus did. If you're not filled with the Spirit, you can't love your husband. If you're not filled with the Spirit, you can't love. I'm talking about the unconditional love. You can't love your children. If you're not filled with the Spirit, you can't muscle through the hard times, the dark days. You can't muscle. See, life sometimes requires that you muscle through things. Muscle. What you talking about, Pastor? Well, sometimes you just don't feel like it. I don't feel like dealing with these children. I don't feel like dealing with... I wish I had some honest people in the church. I wish I had some honest people. Sometimes you just don't feel like dealing with it. I don't feel like putting up with it. It ain't all goosebumps. It's not all silly love songs. Sometimes you got to muscle through life. When the honeymoon is over, after the birthday party is shut down, sometimes you just got to muscle through it. I wish I was in the right church.